Welcome to Keep It Real. Ana Bellinghausen, Avarie Howard alongside with you. I know, guys, you probably don't know who we are anymore. We haven't talked on the show really together since May. We did some stuff during the College World Series together, but we really haven't sat down and caught up at all.
And our favorite phrase is like, we're back again. We're actually back this time.
I think we're actually back because we want to keep it real with you and how busy our lives are, but still finding time to chat, catch up, tell stories, give you a behind the scenes look of what we're doing with all of our reporting, everything at Hurrdat Sports, Hail Varsity, and more.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here in the next month. So we might not be in the same place again
Probably
for the
not
next
for a
few
while.
weeks, but we will have episodes. We're committing to it.
Yep.
I don't know if we need to do like a little like I don't know. Okay, wait. Why'd you do that hand? Okay, there we go. Like that or something
promise.
because every single time that we say we're gonna be back, we get busy, but for good reason. What do we
okay, so should we start at what we've done previously or why we're going to be busy?
Okay, so let's say let's go from the last episode you guys may have seen on Spotify.
Yeah.
Which would have been May of 2023.
Whoa, 2023.
So what have we done since then?
Oh gosh. Okay, so Avarie wrote a list out.
Yeah.
So we had state baseball, state soccer, which I did TV for. Avarie was there covering. The College World Series, which I mean in itself is just a beast. We were there every day working with D1 baseball, and then of course Hurrdat Sports. The Pinnacle Bank Championship, which Avarie like heads all the social media for the Pinnacle Bank Championship, all their socials, everything. Incredible. That's what, like a week and a half in August.
Kind of. Yeah, it starts. We actually just took over social today, so March. So that kind of leading up, but the 4 days that really is that weekend is it's a lot of fun. Hole 17 made its big debut last year. Mark it on your calendar this year. Hole 17 is where you need to be in I think it's the first week of August. Volleyball day in Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, geez, we could have a whole episode in volleyball day in Nebraska.
We really should. Football season started literally the next day.
Avarie's first season covering college football.
Yep, that was awesome.
Claps.
Yeah, thank you. PBR All-Star Weekend.
Yep,
that was cool.
Prep baseball, they have their high school All-Star game. They had it out in Milwaukee. We'll be there next year. We can't tell you the details, I don't think, yet, but Avarie and I will both be there next September. Wait for the announcement, yeah. Omaha hockey season, of course, for Avarie. What's it? I think your third year doing this? Second year?
Well, we did the first year together.
Yep.
And then last year, I did it again. And then I guess, third year.
Yeah, so Avarie doing their in-arena reporting, crazy stuff. For myself, basketball season was big for me, calling games on BTN Plus, Nebraska Public Media, Big East Digital Network, of course, working with them, doing some of their pregame, postgame shows and whatnot. And then NCAA volleyball tournament was also crazy.
For all three schools.
All three schools, too. Yeah, Omaha, Creighton, and Nebraska. I forgot, too. Like, I was on the ESPN Plus calls for the first and second rounds in Omaha, which was amazing to see Creighton finally get out of their own regional here in Omaha.
And then you traveled to Florida.
Then I was in Tampa, Florida for 4 or 5 days, I would say, maybe even more. It might have been a week. And that was all for Nebraska, of course, the heartbreaker at the end with Texas winning. But
that was a cool experience for you, though.
It was amazing because I never really covered college volleyball before this season, and just to see how many people show up for it, I think is just astonishing. Even being in Nebraska and growing up, it's just something you have to experience and see. Obviously, we got to see it with Volleyball Day in Nebraska, but to see it continue on, that's just not a one-time thing.
No.
If they did that every year, 90,000 people would show up every year.
I know. I'm really curious. I don't know. I don't know. I think
if they'll do it again.
It obviously won't be I think it's too much of a production to do it. You
can't do it every year.
No. Yeah. But I'm curious if down the line, I don't know. You had a lot of little girls who may think that's a possibility someday. So
goosebumps. That was the coolest day
for sure.
I could call a Super Bowl, and I still think Volleyball Day in Nebraska will be the coolest thing I've ever covered.
I cried so many times.
Yeah, I had goosebumps the whole day. Seriously.
Insane. Okay, so we're halfway through this list.
Yeah, we're halfway through this list. Okay, going back to it.
Basketball coverage.
Yep.
You had a lot more than I have just because hockey season's been going on.
Yep.
But from what we've covered this year in terms of basketball season, crazy.
Really cool.
Husker upsets, Purdue, Wisconsin, had staff there. You got to watch Creighton upset UConn. Yep. That was crazy.
Yep.
I got to be there for when Husker women's upset Iowa, which was supposed to be Caitlin Clark's day. So that was crazy.
It didn't even happen. But
nothing happened.
Honestly, that's cooler that it didn't happen.
It was because there was a time at the very last few minutes where I was like, well, shoot, Huskers aren't going to win. And Caitlin's not going to get the record. Like everything. And then it flipped on a dime, which was so cool. It was one of those moments where you like get in your car afterwards. And you're like,
that happened.
Yeah. We helped launch Supernovas.
We helped launch a professional volleyball team. No big deal.
Yeah. They had their first game January 24th. That was awesome. We've continued to watch that grow even after their first game. The crowds have gotten bigger, which is super exciting. And we really get into a fun chunk of games here soon. Before you know it, the end of the season is going to be here.
And Omaha's in first place too. So if you haven't been out to a Supernovas game, you got to go.
Yeah, you do.
CHI Center packs out. Honestly, it gets loud. The fans are passionate. They know their volleyball. It's a really good atmosphere.
Yeah. And the front office staff, they've been on the road and they've seen, you know, what the production looks like for other teams. And, you know, it's the first season. So a lot of teams are figuring it out. But Omaha's got... maybe we're biased, but a top-notch just run of show. Your fan experience is unlike many others.
They truly treat it like a professional team, like it deserves. It's not like, first year one-off. Like we're treating this like an NBA team, an NFL team would get the same treatment.
Yeah, here to stay. Then I had the PBR Super 60 weekend in Chicago. That was really cool. Another PBR event, which was awesome. So much talent in one area. Got to feature some Nebraska kids, which will be fun to cover them because baseball season starts literally a week and a half, 2 weeks. Some MLB prospects here in the area, which that's awesome.
Kale Fountain and then
Tyson Lewis. There's some more in there. There's besides MLB prospects, just a lot of D1 commits in the area too, which will be really exciting. And I feel like between February and now, we're for sure missing something, but we had state basketball.
I was on national TV, CBS. I got to do that.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yep, that's awesome.
That was my first time ever. Like, I had one national TV game before for Creighton volleyball, but this was my first time actually getting the call up to do more national TV than just like a one-off game.
Right.
So that was really cool working with the Summit League, and it was their first time they ever had games on CBS too, as the league. So
like inaugural.
Yeah, it was an inaugural CBS game for them. So it was like a really cool full circle moment, especially because I got to do a UNO game too, obviously, where we both went to school. So to get to cover a team that you went to school at is pretty sweet.
For your first national television. It's kind of crazy full circle.
I know, it was crazy.
Yeah. And then, like I said, we had state basketball last week, and today is the start of boys state basketball, and March is here.
March is here, and March is the most fun, yet the most busy month of our entire lives.
Yeah, it's not just madness for the tournament. It's literally madness it's from madness, the first to the last day.
And you're about to experience all of it with us, honestly.
Yeah.
So we have conference tournaments first. Avery, you'll be up in
Sioux Falls, South
Dakota, covering the Summit League tournament. But you also... Meanwhile, this is going on. You have UNO hockey.
Yeah, North Dakota this weekend.
The final series, huge series.
Yeah, North Dakota this weekend. A chance for home ice still is alive for hockey. It's a senior weekend on Saturday. It's a pretty big senior class. I think the first name that probably comes to mind for most fans is Nolan Sullivan.
Yeah.
Just captain for the past few years. He's got a good class he's graduating with, but he's been the face of that program for the past few years in terms of just his leadership and what he's done off the ice for that program. So I think that'll be a really important evening. It's a whiteout, you know, Gotta pull out all the stops from North Dakota, right? So that'll be fun. They're 4 points away from potential home ice. Obviously, some other teams have to do some things, but that's a big one. They've had 5 sellouts this year.
They deserve it. Like, their environment at Omaha, again, if you haven't been to a UNO hockey game, you absolutely have to. And if you're listening to this podcast, you probably are familiar with Omaha hockey. I feel like we got a lot of Omaha fans that listen, but outstanding atmosphere, great hockey team, and I think they deserve all the flowers they're getting right now. Personally, I think their ranking could be even higher. I think they've been kind of stuck 16. Around 16, 17 and below, but don't sleep on Omaha.
No, I think it'd be really fun to see how far they can go. Yeah, because then in 2 weeks, no matter what, NCHC playoffs is here. What else did we say was going? We went right from here's everything we've been doing,
and here's everything
that we have going on. You'll leave tomorrow for literally a month.
For seriously forever. So I'm going to be gone basically from tomorrow until April 10th. But I come back for a couple of yeah, I'm not even kidding. It's March 6th today.
April 10th.
That makes me sad.
Is April 10th our final?
That's the end of the Final Four. That's a day after the final, 2 days after the Final Four ends. So, but I get to come back in between for a couple days, multiple times. So after, which, yeah, thank God, I get to sleep in my bed a couple times. I've been cherishing laying in my bed.
I bet you should ask your landlord, or do I have to pay rent in March or no?
Literally, I would rent it out. I wish that I should try.
People may want it for first round here.
That is so fair. I don't think they would let me do that, but I'll try.
Just a thought.
Might as well. So yeah, I'll be gone in Connecticut starting off tomorrow. I fly into Hartford at 11 a.m. So yeah, I'll be there for the Big East Women's Tournament, which I can't wait. I'm working for the Big East for that. So doing their preview shows, post-game shows, interviews. I'm really excited that I get to talk to Gino Auriemma and Paige Beckers.
Yeah, how cool for you.
I've watched them play. I've talked to and heard them speak in press conferences, but I've never actually spoken to them one-on-one.
Yeah.
Gino's one of the coolest coaches in the entire universe. Just everything that man's accomplished in his life and the players that have been through there. I mean, you saw the video with Maya Moore and Caitlin Clark. She literally was Maya Moore was my role model growing up for women's basketball. I had a UConn sweatshirt growing up.
Yeah.
I live in Nebraska.
Yeah. UConn basketball,
so cool, the brand. Yeah,
it is.
So yeah, really excited.
He's one of those coaches, and probably just people, but when he speaks, you listen.
Oh yeah. You can't hear a pin
I want to hear everything. Keep going. You're preaching here. Keep going.
Yep. So yeah, seeing Paige Beckers will be sweet. She already announced that she's coming back for another year.
Yeah.
Caitlin obviously leaving. So it'll be nice to still have those superstars still in college basketball for next season. And I'm sure we'll see more emerge. But yeah, then from Connecticut, I am driving through and going to New York City, which I'm scared that I'm going to be in a car.
How are you getting there?
So people from the Big East are driving.
Okay.
But they all live out there. So they know how to drive in the city. I don't.
Buckle up.
I know. I told them I'm going to close my eyes.
Not
while driving, just to reiterate.
No, not a knock to our friend.
In the passenger.
Mike from PBR. He grew up driving in the East Coast, and when you're not in the East Coast, you're like, dude, what is this? But then I went to New York a few weeks ago, and you're in an Uber or a taxi, whatever. I don't know. I felt fine because I was
were fine?
I was you get it. You're good. You grew up in this, but when you're not in that environment and you're driving an East Coast person in the Midwest, that's what I feel like. It's whoa.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That was Mike in Chicago.
Potentially.
In the Midwest.
It wasn't he was a bad driver. He just is more aggressive than everyone else around him. Or in New York.
See, the Midwest drivers were waving at people. Were saying, excuse me, so sorry. In New York City, they're probably I hate you. I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.
That's the vibe.
A little bit. It was just funny, I think you'll be fine is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But you experienced.
But I'm still nervous, but whatever.
That's okay. Just buckle up.
I will buckle up.
Okay, good.
Everyone should buckle. I'll double buckle up, actually, is what I'm going to do.
Put your big backpack in front of you.
Speaking of backpacks, I'm going to need about 12 of them for this trip because I'm going to.
How are you packing your 8 new blazers?
Yeah. So we also need to discuss my blazer problem. You'd think I would have developed more fashion, but it's just so easy to throw on a blazer and slacks and make it cute. But I've gotten into pantsuits as well. Zara, H&M.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping I can still shop in New York City, but I don't know if I'll have room to bring it home.
Yeah.
I probably won't.
I struggled from that. If you can go I don't know if there's a Zara on every block in New York.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
Music to my ears.
It is great. And there's also a really great Aritzia. I know. And the Aritzia bags are fantastic, which I learned if you overshop, you can actually bring the Aritzia bag back with you. And it's really large. And the bottom of it has a nice...
on the airplane?
Yeah. Just make it your...
carry-on.
Yeah. I did have to do that, but what my point is, it's a really good quality bag, and it also has a flat bottom.
Okay.
So it's not it'll be So if you go to Aritzia, if you go to
I was
Zara,
about to bring a
extra,
empty
you could
carry-on,
but honestly,
it won't be empty. This is the problem.
Yeah, I would suggest some sort of extra storage.
Southwest 2 bags fly free. This is not an ad, but we know that for sure. So I can maybe bring an extra one.
Could sponsor our travels.
They could. That'd be. Oh my gosh! Yeah, I just got a Southwest credit card, so
important.
We're really going in on the traveling. But I bought a bunch of new blazers because I felt like I had to, because I just can't. I've worn them on TV and taken pictures in them. I need new ones.
Well, I was going to go to H&M, but I feel like there's no more options because
I think I might have bought them all yesterday.
I know.
Yeah.
I know I saw all the tags in that picture and I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to H&M. They're gone.
There's actually some cute ones. Like H&M's hit or miss for sure.
They do.
Like they have some really cute ones and then some like a little bit less quality.
Yeah.
Zara, I've always loved, but they're a little bit more expensive. But if you can get a solid H&M, yeah, it is. But you can still get good quality at H&M.
You can. That's true.
Life hack for you. So check there first and then go Zara.
True. So you go on this nice little adventure road trip thing. What are you most excited for? Maybe girls and guys side. I know it might be a loaded question, but what do you...
I was going to say pizza and bagels.
Okay, bagels, huge.
Yeah.
In terms of the teams you're covering, what are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, well, women's, I'll still go back to Paige Beckers and Gino and seeing greatness on the court. Also, Leah Edwards is amazing. Also, just how far Creighton women's can go because they're such a good team this year. It's all seniors starting. They've played together forever, and they've never beaten UConn in the entire time they've been in the Big East. So it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of get over that hump, and they won't face them until the championship if it goes chalk all the way through for both sides. So yeah, just seeing if Creighton can kind of get over that hump and beat UConn, and if they're going to do it, why not for a Big East championship? So,
no kidding. And
then on the men's side, I think it's the same story. You're trying to either beat UConn or Marquette as kind of your biggest opponents there. I believe Creighton has a 3 seed. I'm pretty sure. It might depend on this weekend as well with whatever happens with Seton Hall, but we'll see. Yeah, I think just looking out for the talent that we'll see in the Big East. There's so many NBA draft prospects, and then also MSG. I've never been to Madison Square Garden. I've never been to New York, so
yeah. That's so crazy. We both literally
the world's
went
most famous arena.
Yeah, crazy. You gotta say you've been there.
And you'll be in Sioux Falls, which is that sounds.
And you'll be in Sioux Falls.
But I love that tournament.
Yeah,
and that is one of the best.
I think it's
tournaments
cool that they have them
nation.
both. I think it's cool they have them both there.
Yeah. Both men's and women's. It is one of the most favorite. I love that place.
Yeah, and that arena is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
We had Summit League Media Day.
Yeah, that's where we had Summit League Media Day.
We forgot that.
We did do that.
That was really cool. That was really fun. The first one ever.
First one ever.
So we'll be back.
It's been on history this year.
Oh my gosh.
2023 was history, and 2024, which
they say 2024 is supposed to be the year of luck.
Of luck,
apparently.
I could use some luck.
Yeah,
for St. Patty's Day.
You love St. Patrick's Day.
I love St. Patrick's Day, and I'll be in New York City for it. Yeah. So I already told Avery I'm going to bring a green outfit just in case, you know, we can hit the town.
Okay.
In my little green outfit.
Your green blazer?
I'm bringing that as well, but I can't decide. I bought a new green blazer, but it's not as iconic as the green blazer.
Okay.
Kind of like the pink one.
Yeah.
But
is it like off?
It's
off
like
green?
a light green.
Oh.
Like a light pastel green.
Okay.
Which is just it's not the same, but it's fine. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see what kind of statement I want to make on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, great. Yeah, you're right. I will be, back to our arenas conversation, I will be, is it Sanford Center?
Denny Sanford, yeah.
Denny Sanford
Premier Center.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, cool place. Really cool in there.
Good atmosphere. They pack it out too.
They do. And I mean, when it's in the Dakotas, it's basically a Dakotas tournament often. But on the men's side, I'm excited. They'll play Sunday night at 8:30. So they get a nighttime game. I don't know, when it comes to Omaha and the Summer League tournament, it's always wide open.
The women's team's been the past 2 of 3 years to the championship final.
Yeah, and as not a high seed.
No.
They're coming in this year.
They're the last seed. Yeah.
I think when they made it the first year, I was a senior in college, I believe it was. I shouldn't say made it for the first time, but when they came in as a low seed.
Yeah, it was like number 8 seed, and they went all the way to the championship.
They went all the way.
Yep.
And so then last year, I think they came in at 6, if I remember correctly, and they still made it. So, I mean, it really is March when it comes to these conference tournaments.
You never know. And that's the best part about March, but also the scariest, because we want to see every team from Nebraska keep moving forward so we can continue covering them. And you never know.
Yeah, never know. And that does lead us to one of our upcoming events, though, is that the second round is here in Omaha. So we'll have that kind of coverage coming up in March. We're probably confusing everyone because we're listing out everything and everywhere that will be kind of in linear order.
They're probably confused how we're going to be so many places at once.
Correct. Yeah. But also, if Nebraska makes it, there's a chance that they could be in Omaha.
That's going to be the town's going to burn down.
Insane. I will say it will be an added plus because I will be on coverage for the first 2 rounds here in Omaha. And without a doubt, it'll be cool no matter what teams are here. But it is definitely cool when you have some sort of connection.
Oh my gosh,
for one of the teams, right?
I don't think that's ever happened.
No,
there's no way. Well, Nebraska, no offense.
Well, the thing that's crazy is you can't be in your own host city, but it's not that you can't be in your own host state.
Yep.
So I guess there's probably a possibility that maybe Nebraska would end up in Des Moines if they didn't want to give them that much of a...
Des Moines hosting too?
I believe it's Des Moines.
Oh, I thought that.
I thought maybe
I don't think Des Moines
they
hosting.
aren't. They were last year.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I thought.
I think they did last year.
Who's the next closest then? There was one more in the Midwest, I thought.
Casey's not.
No.
Indianapolis is.
Indy. So maybe it's Indy. Yeah. There's a good chance that maybe they could end up there.
Yeah.
But either way, I can't imagine what it would be like if Nebraska is here for the first round.
Nebraska, that's equivalent in my eyes of when Nebraska played in the College World Series.
Gosh, could you imagine? Did you experience that? Did you go when Nebraska did? Neither.
I was pretty young.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like 2001?
2005.
We were 1 year old.
Yeah.
1 year old.
Let's do a little search, shall we?
When was that?
When was...
This is when Lucian has to brush up on his baseball history. Our new producer, Lucian,
pause and say... We pause and we say, all right, fans, this is where we're going to pause and see who answers.
Let's see.
You probably beat me to it.
Okay, 2005. So we would have been 5 years old.
2005.
I'm not going... You barely can remember anything beyond the age of 3, really. So I can't imagine 5's much better.
Can you recall your first College World Series experience?
I do, yeah. I remember, I think I was in middle school, like maybe 6th or 7th grade.
Okay.
I went with my friend Katie and her mom. And I remember looking at the scoreboard and being like, why do they have like 10 innings listed? I was so confused. I'm like, I thought it was only 9. And I remember her explaining the reasoning to me of like, oh, it's in case it goes to extras. So yeah, that was like one of my fondest at Rosenblatt. Yeah, that's where I learned some baseball.
Do you remember who was playing?
I want to say it was South Carolina. I know I went 1 year when Clemson played, and I like made a Clemson shirt. Like I got a white T-shirt, and then I glued like words and letters on it, and by the end of the day it like sweated off and it was just a white T-shirt, or like I think I even wrote on Sharpie, and it just like it was gross.
Great. Yeah, I was at Rosenblatt as well, and I was actually in town for the Nebraska soccer camp, but we stayed in Omaha. We stayed at my grandparents' house, and my dad was like, you're gonna go to the College World Series, and we parked in someone's backyard, as you do, and I don't know if it was our car, people we were with. I don't remember being with anyone, but either way, maybe my dad's friends. I don't know. Could have been some strangers, but we played bags with a few people for like 20, 30 minutes. And then we walked in. As we walked in, a bus pulled up to Rosenblatt, and all of these kids got out, like a ton of kids, college kids.
Okay.
And they were
a party bus.
They were all dressed in purple, and they were all doing this thing. And I was like, Dad, what is that?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's TCU's Horned Frog.
Yep.
And so that's like ingrained in my head. And
so you're a TCU fan?
Not necessarily, but I remember they were playing UCLA or South Carolina. Now that you say South Carolina, I want to say it was South Carolina. I'm gonna have to look it up because I remember it was like 2007, I think.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see which one I went to.
Yeah. I actually did look it up one time. Wait. Well, either way, it doesn't matter actually. But the whole reason why this is kind of crazy, I shouldn't say crazy, but kind of, I don't know. I do this whole epiphany thing all the time. I'm like, whoa, full circle. That even though not in 2023, but in 2022, I got to cover like 2 games for Mav Radio. It kind of felt like a fake experience because I only did like one day because it's the only day I could do. So it gave me a taste of like what it was like to walk onto the field and have to grab a player. But I only got like 1 game. So I wasn't all that invested. And I just kind of ended up feeling a fan for the rest of it. Where last year was like my first legit full World Series, getting to work, like having a true responsibility and like someone we were reporting for, which was like huge. It wasn't just, kind of like paybacks Avarie was giving us because we were supposed to work at 2020. The whole thing happened. Yada, yada. Yeah. My first game that I got to work was TCU versus Oral Roberts.
Oh, cool.
So that was kind of a crazy
League team. And then
that too. And it was just crazy because my dad was there for like a work event, but like I got to walk up during like there was a kind of like a I don't know we didn't have to do interviews until the end, so I guess there was kind of a break and play, and I got to walk up and say hi to him and some of his friends, but like my dad's in the stands and I'm on the field for a TCU game basically, and like my first game was with my dad, and it was Father's Day. Oh, I know.
You're so sentimental. Like every time I see you, you're like soaking the moment in. I'm like, my mind's a million places. I'm like zipping around doing things. I'm like, I love that you always take a moment and like soak things in because I don't do that enough.
Yeah, I cry like 4 times a week, 3 times a week, something sports related, literally. Like,
I know. I saw you tweet that. I'm like, she's not exaggerating.
No, I'm not.
Like, she's definitely being real.
Well, like,
what's the last thing that made you cry?
I can't disclose what the last thing that was making me cry. It's literally a sports video that we're editing literally right now. But I did see Jason Kelsey's speeches 2 days ago. Made me cry. I watched another one last night, even though I'd already seen it, but I did see like the final of it. That got me. I don't know. Like, there's just something. I cry more happy tears than sad tears, 100%.
Okay.
Like, it was a happy tears watching Jason. Like, you're like, wow, like someone at this age, moment. They've played this many years and they care this much that they put a 45-minute speech together. Like,
that too.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's really cool when you have players that like love, I don't know how we got on this tangent, but love the game that much. Like, cause you have a lot of players that are really naturally gifted and naturally talented. And like, sure, they love playing football, or they love playing baseball or whatever, but like, they don't have like a deep rooted passion for every single thing that comes with it. Like, they love a bus ride. They love a team meal. They love every single thing that revolves around being around their teammates. They love every hardship about it. Where like, this is like an exaggerated, but like, oh gosh, now I'm going to say his name. I'm forgetting. Texas A&M quarterback.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
How do you ever forget that name?
I don't know. I was going to say Baker and I couldn't get it out of my head. I know. But like someone that was really talented, but like didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have people that have got to work like Jason Kelsey to get everything they want and more. And that's why it means more. But like, I think that's why watching those speeches, I was like, this man's dedicated so much of his life, like even down to the memories of playing with Travis in the backyard, like that meant something to him.
It's just crazy that they've grown up together and then ended up where they are. Have not only on the football field, but also how much impact they've made off the field, like having the #1 sports podcast, doing all the charity work that they both do. Travis is literally dating Taylor Swift. Like,
I know.
If they would have told themselves that sentence when they were together in college at Cincinnati, they would have been like, what?
Or like 5 years ago.
Honestly, 2 years ago.
Literally, because they started that podcast for fun. That's what's crazy. Like, they're literally making an extra $1 million just for fun. Yeah. They're like, let's just do this thing. Like, and now with so much revenue, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he'll be fine post-retirement.
He will be fine. He'll be fine. Yeah, that's, I guess.
Yeah, one of my favorite people ever in sports, for sure.
Did you watch the Kelsey thing on
the documentary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cried naturally, but
I think I did cry at the end. Yeah. Like the Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl, and then they're like, him and his kids are on the bed together with Kylie.
I know.
And they're talking about it. Like, that was really sweet. The last thing that actually made me cry was the Bachelor episode, and I won't spoil anything, but when Marissa, is that her name?
Maria?
No, not Maria. Not Maria. Maria's not making me cry. Who's the other girl? Not Daisy. Not
Kelsey. Kelsey A.
Maybe. Kelsey, maybe? I don't know.
Rachel.
Brown hair.
Long.
Yes.
Yeah, Kelsey.
Her
mom and the butterfly.
Yes. That, and then when her dad was, when she was talking to her dad about like how.
Oh my God, Anna, you do have a heart.
I do have a heart, and I do cry at things. I was like sitting alone in my apartment, which I live alone now, and I'm like,
welcome. Actually, not welcome anymore, but
yeah, you have a roommate now. But like, it just hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a cute moment. So sad. Like, her dad was taking care of her mom that was sick and passed away, but. Yeah, I don't know. That was the last thing that made me cry. It wasn't sports related. We'll see today, though. Maybe you can send me some of your videos that you will cry to.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that is true, actually. I feel like in moments we do run around crazy. And then, I don't know. I guess I don't realize that I'm the person that's always like...
You always do.
Anna, take it in.
I know. You're like taking a video or something, and I'm like thinking about something else. I don't know. You're just really good at capturing moments personally, like for things that you want to remember, like taking a video of us at the CWS, like when we're watching the trophy ceremony. Like, I love that video. Like, I love that you took that, but I just don't think of things like that. Yeah, that's my fault. But luckily I have you, so
you're right.
So keep it real.
We're usually attached to the hip for most things. Except for March.
I know, we'll be separated, but that's okay. And we're still going to bring you episodes. We're still going to talk weekly. So definitely give us a second chance, guys.
We will. We'll be so much better because now they'll be in the moment. We'll have like funny stories. We always actually have a ton of funny stories, but then we have to do this thing where we have to catch you guys all up on what's been going on.
The funny stories have been long gone. Yeah. They're not funny anymore, probably.
Probably not much. But yeah, we'll have great, travel adventures are always great. Yeah. Funny stuff. People, places that Anna encounters are always food. Yeah, true. we'll have guests. We'll have some cool guests coming up.
We'll have some good guests on.
We will. If you guys want to hear from some people, maybe we'll take some requests.
Yeah, if you have any favorite players, favorite teams, shoot us. Yeah. Shoot us a message.
Shoot us.
Don't shoot us, but shoot us a message. Just
if you see something,
just shoot something. Yeah. If you see something, say something. And if you have a guest that you want us to talk to, let us know, because we might know them, especially if they're in the Omaha area.
True.
We could have some hockey guys on. We need to talk to some KC Royals players.
Yeah.
Last year we had Michael Massey on. Maybe we'll get him back going.
Yeah. You threw out Vinny. I'm sure Vinny would be a great
Vinny would
episode.
be really good, because he's coming back from that shoulder injury and
for sure.
Everything. So he's just so funny.
They're like 8-3.
Are they in spring training?
9-3. Yeah, they played the Cubs last night. I didn't see the final.
They do this every year, though.
I know.
They get me so excited.
I know, but
this year's different, though.
I've said that one before.
This year is different. I'm a Husker fan, I guess. This year's different.
Mm-hmm. Which I think that'll be something I'm really excited for us to keep up.
Woo!
Keep up. Oh, no, I don't know why I said keep
football
up. Keep it real. We'll have football practices coming up here soon, and having a year under my belt, where like last year getting thrown into it, I was like, how does everyone know who that is? They have a helmet on. Like, how can you tell? Where this year I'm like, that's so-and-so.
Yeah.
I know.
You're more familiar.
Yeah. I know what the philosophies are. I know the messages being driven home from the coaches, what to look for. And just, I think year one was a good foundation for what I think.
And everyone was in the same boat too.
It was
a new coaching staff, a lot of new players.
For sure. I'm excited to see Dylan Raiola in person.
Yeah.
I think that'll be kind of cool. I know how crazy that like a 17-year-old kid is making us go crazy.
And we're like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God, this kid. It's literally just a 17-year-old. But
let's hope that he lives up to it.
I know. But anyway, we're kind of ranted for like 35 minutes on just
perfect.
What, we've been up to.
The show.
That is the show. So if you like that, great. But we did have some people ask during our very long hiatus. If we would ever do like a show or a radio show, and we were like, actually, we do have this podcast
that we need to.
It's been put on pause. So if you've been asking, you have kind of motivated us to get back into it. Thank you for listening. If you were an avid listener, that was meaningful to hear.
We'll think of a name for you guys later on to keep it realers.
No, I don't. No, we need to be more creative. That. Yeah, we'll get back to you. But thanks for hanging in there with us.
Thanks for joining. This has been Keep It Real.
We do our best to do that.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next time for a crazy March Madness experience. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
And where will you be coming in from next week? New York.
Can't wait. Hit the music. New York.
I don't know what song that is.
You love to sing as well.
Oh, great.
I'll say that. You're a good singer, though.
Thanks.
Congrats.
Bye.
All right, see you guys.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.